All right, Friday the 20th of May 2022. We'll see how long this works. I got the two dogs over here to my side. I just spent probably 20 minutes in the parking lot with the ladies, talking to them about letting them hold the dog, and they wanted to see the other dogs. They came in the car, see the dog, and yeah. So the dogs are a big hit. Although I left the big one, Tilly, in the car, and she was whining the whole time, so they came over and they had to see her. But anyway, dog alert. The weather, looks like we had a storm coming here. Last night I stayed up late. I watched the Mimblewimble rollout. So it was officially activated on the Litecoin blockchain, and Charlie Lee and David Burkett were sending some transactions, and Litecoin Underground, who was hosting the show, did a great job. He was sending some transactions. Alan Austin was on there. Might be seeing him a little bit later, actually. Speaking of which, happy hour at 4 p.m. Central Time. You might want to tune in for a special guest. Might be whipping up something special. You know, we got Bitcoin Pizza Day coming up, May 22nd, I believe, 2 days from now. What's the day? So Sunday, Bitcoin Pizza Day. Laszlo bought two pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin at Papa John's, I believe. I think it was one was sausage and one was pepperoni, maybe. I can't remember, but it was two large pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. But it proved the use case at that time. That was 2010, I believe. So we're, what, 12 years? And look how far Bitcoin's gone. Man, buy a whole pizza joint with 10,000 Bitcoin, a whole chain at this point. But, yeah, speaking of Mimblewimble last night. So here's my takeaway on Mimblewimble. You know, I'm trying to understand how it works. And now that it's implemented, if you've got the Litecoin core wallet, or core, I guess you call it the core wallet, core code, downloaded and installed on a computer, you have the option to send and receive Mimblewimble transactions. Or really send, because if you receive them, it doesn't really matter. So, just kind of waiting on the other wallets to roll it out, you know, to make it easier and more usable. And that's really the only thing I think we're waiting on is the technology, and I should say the ease of use, the usability to catch up with the technology. And that's the way it is with, you know, the cryptocurrency. It used to be the same way with the internet. The internet rolls out and it's like, okay, what do we do with this? And you have that famous Katie Couric and Bryant Gumball on the Today Show saying, well, email? What's email? This is like 94 or 5 with a little @ sign, you know? And everybody's like, well, what does it do? I mean, so you've got this framework, this underlying framework, and people are like, what do you, email? I mean, that's what it's going to be used for? I mean, what do you do with this technology? And the same with blockchain. What do you kind of do with it? Well, Bitcoin and Litecoin, the cryptocurrencies, are kind of that use case and what you can do with it. But now you've got something like Mimblewimble, and it's like, okay, I mean, I kind of get it, but how do we use it? I mean, I don't understand how to do it. Now, if you've got the core wallet downloaded, which most people, you know, face it, aren't going to do. It's a little more complicated than it needs to be for them. It's not hard, but I mean, you know, it's a learning curve. But if you've got a wallet on your phone, like say you pull it out, and hey, I got Monarch wallet. Hey, I've got Coinomi. Hey, I've got Cake wallet. I've got Exodus wallet. This is where I keep my coins, which you all should be doing and having the coins in your own custody or control of them. Shouldn't be leaving them on Coinbase. So learn how to do that. Download a wallet, write down the seed words, save that. Very important. I still got to have like a little class or something on that. Come to a meetup. If you come to a meetup, you'll learn about that. You'll get cryptocurrency. I'll teach you how to download a wallet and send you Litecoin. Mimblewimble Litecoin. I'm getting back to the original point, but our meetup is, if you're near Peoria, Illinois, not near Peoria, Illinois, doesn't matter, get there. I travel all over the place. Peoria just happens to be a lot quicker for me, because I live in this area. But Peoria, Illinois, June 17th. I've got it on my website. I do not have the exact location. I'm still working on that. I'll get that nailed down today. Peoria, Illinois, June 17th. Gonna have a live happy hour with Litecoin Lisa, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. Gonna be live like we do every Friday. So check us out today on this channel and Litecoin Lisa's channel. Live happy hour, having some drinks, spilling some truth, talking about some cryptocurrencies, talking about Litecoin especially. be getting some free Litecoin. You come to this meetup, I'll teach you to download a wallet and send you some if you don't have it. Anyway, that's the point. Take possession of it. Get to the meetup, though. I mean, seriously, come to the June 17th meetup in Peoria, Illinois. Check my website, clintwestwood.net, for all the details. Hi, Tilly. So, Mimblewimble, the way I understand it after watching last night, watching it happen, is that you have, it's like having parallel universes, or, yeah, I mean, it's like a parallel, you know, alternate dimension. So you've got the Litecoin blockchain, and now right next to it, you've got a parallel blockchain called Mimblewimble. Essentially the same thing. It's like you can jump between the two. So all the 84 million coins that can ever exist, and right now there's like 70 million Litecoin. So all those 70 million are accounted for on the blockchain. They exist somewhere because they're pointers to an address. Now you might not be able to access them because you lost your private key, you lost your seed words, but the blockchain is accounting for them and saying, hey, here's where they are. You know, so it's got a record going all the way back to the first block that says, this is where these are. These coins that are originally mine, this is where they are and where they went, where they came from. One of the reasons to have Mimblewimble, because you can track all that back. And if some nefarious player, some bad actor was using those coins for something, you know, they were involved in some scandal or some, hey, you know, pay me in Litecoin or pay me in Bitcoin, you know, hostage situation. Like you see on all the TV cop dramas, you know, oh, he's asking for Bitcoin, you know, to, you know, release the mayor's son. Okay, so it keeps an accounting of all that. And so they would be able to know, okay, these are the coins that were used. And then somebody in the future, an exchange might say, whoa, they flag it and say, oh, that came from that wallet, you know, we can't take those coins. No, that's horrible. So it's all maintained on the blockchain is my point, the record. You know, so you've got the Litecoin blockchain that's maintained all the transactions up to this point. Now you've added a side block. So you've got Digibug 1 over here and Digibug 2 over here. So you've got a side block, and what that means is, get this shut down, calm down, dogs. You've got main Litecoin blockchain that's always existed. Now you've got Mimblewimble, an extension block that's tied to each block that gets created on the Litecoin blockchain. So from here on out, now you have an option. You can say, hey, you know, there's 70 million. Wow, that was a nice lightning strike. There were 70 million coins, you know, accounted for in all these blocks. And let's say there's 10 coins in this Litecoin block, you know. Wow, lightning strikes. Sorry. I got to get this banged out, nailed down. So you've got 10 Litecoin in this block, which is every 2.5 minutes a block of transactions comes out. You got 10 Litecoin in this block. All right, so it's handling it. It knows that there's 10 Litecoin in this transaction. But let's say you want to move them over to the, you've got 5 of them that you're moving, and you want to move them over to the Mimblewimble extension block. So now, you know, you had 70 million coins over here, and now there's like 69,999,000, whatever, you know, minus 10 basically. They're over here. I'm trying to explain this right. I don't want to confuse the matter. But both of these blocks are now keeping track hand in hand of all the 70 million, potentially in the future 84 million Litecoin. So they're keeping a record of it. So they can be over here or they can be over here, but they both know that the total blocks are being accounted for in one of these two realities, like an alternate reality, parallel dimension. So you can either be in this one or you can be in this one. Doesn't matter, but they're both keeping track that, hey, you know, there's 84 million total, and, you know, some are over here and some are over here. So my thinking is, and listening to Charlie Lee last night, is that the more you put into the Mimblewimble side, the more secure and more mixed and more, you know, hidden, I guess you could say, those coins become. Because they're constantly, you can leave them sitting in a Mimblewimble block or address, and the longer it sits in there, there's more and more transactions flowing in and out and in and out. It helps secure it and privatize that more the longer it sits in there, because you've got more transactions going in there, and it's just there's I don't even know how to explain it. There's more mixing. There's more mixing of coins. There's more, they're all in there. So you can't see the individual transactions. So essentially there's a peg in and a peg out. What happens is if 10 Litecoin from the main chain go into the side chain, now there's 10 less in the main chain, there's 10 more in the side chain. Let's say at some point you've got 70 million Litecoin and 60 million are in Mweb and 10 million are on the regular blockchain. It doesn't really matter. It's just a marker. It's just how it's handled, the transaction. So what's going on over here in the Mimblewimble side, you're not seeing those individual transactions recorded on the blockchain like you do, in other blocks. Only when it comes out back into the regular mainstream, dimension, reality, is that total that comes out of this Mimblewimble block is pegged back in. It's like, hey, there's like a million Litecoin over here, and 500,000 are coming back in on this side into the transparent side instead of the the cloak and dagger side, wearing a mask. Think of it, they're wearing masks over here, and over here they're not wearing masks. So in Mimblewimble you're wearing a mask, and it's like, I don't even know, what's he doing, what's he saying, I don't know. I know he went in there, but I don't even know what he's doing in there. And then you come out later and it's like, well, I don't even know what you did, because you don't see the amounts. I don't know if that's explaining it right, but just think of it that way. There's now two rails. There's now two realities. You have this reality and you have that reality. One is with the lights out, you're traveling down a road or a track, and one has the lights fully on. And the coins can move and jump between the two sides, and it doesn't matter because it's all taken care of and the total is all handled as far as how many coins, because that's what the blockchain does. It's a ledger. It keeps track of the money. And so it's keeping track of the money jumping from here to here. But once it jumps over to Mweb, it's like in the dark, and you don't know, hey, you might be handing cash to somebody on the street, but nobody can see it because the lights aren't on, on that street. And then you jump over here and the lights are on the street, so everybody can see, what you're exchanging. So it just adds a layer of privacy. It's pretty cool. I want to start using it. I watched them use it last night and send the transactions. It's really neat. Man, there is some lightning. I should be turning this camera around. Donner und Blitzen. Thunder and lightning. Watch, it'll get struck. If we could just harness that lightning, think of the energy and the free energy that's out here in the world, and then we're paying how much, and I don't know. Kind of get ripped off. We need to go back to Tesla's technology and figure that out and get that produced. Ay. All right, so I see we authorized $40 billion to Ukraine. I knew we would. And, Rand Paul last week, really just grandstanding. I mean, I don't know. Politicians need to come out and just say, hey, listen, we got unsound money. This is how you fix it. Go buy some Litecoin. Go buy some Bitcoin. Go buy something that, proof of work coin, and take your energy out of that Federal Reserve vampire system. If a politician would stand up and just say that, but they don't. Instead, they dance around it. Oh, well, we can't afford it. This is taxpayer money, $40 billion. No, it's not. They just make it out of nothing. They charge us tax for nothing just to blindside us and rape us. So, you've got politicians saying, well, we need to be fiscally responsible, blah, blah, blah. There's no way to be fiscally responsible right now with, $25 trillion in debt, whatever it is. You're never going to pay that back. That's a joke. It's just not going to happen. Shut these windows up before it gets too late. Yeah, it's like right over us here. See how the dog reacts. Are you scared, Tilly? It's interesting how dogs react, when they hear thunder and lightning. Our other little dog was scared to death. Till she got older and she didn't care anymore. She's like, yeah, whatever. Nothing's going to happen. But Mimblewimble, check it out. Pretty cool. $40 billion going to Ukraine for, whatever. Do the math on that. I put out a tweet yesterday. I just did the math. I had to double check my math multiple times. $40 billion that we just created out of nothing. They're going to send to Iraq. I keep saying Iraq because I think George Bush Jr. just said that the other day. Misspoke. Called it Iraq. Same deal. Where are those weapons of mass destruction, Georgie Porgy? So, $40 billion divided by $72 Litecoin, I think is what I used. If you had $40 billion and you could buy all the Litecoin at $72, you would be able to buy 555,555 Litecoin. So over 500 million Litecoin is what you can buy with $40 billion that we're giving to Ukraine. Now think about that. There's only 84 million Litecoin that can ever exist. And that little 40 billion that, we don't even know about, that just gets just created and sent to Ukraine, that $40 billion, buys 500 plus million Litecoin at today's prices. I know you can't buy it because there's got to be a market for it, but put it in perspective. Just that little amount of money that was created out of nothing, out of the trillions that get created, could have bought all the Litecoin times, what, 6? 7? Put that in perspective. That tells you what a finite asset you have. And when the world catches on and they realize these privacy features, and when usability catches up with technology and it becomes very easy to use this on your phone wallet, and then you can just say, oh yeah, Mweb, and it's going to be a default transaction at some point. Yeah, rides on the Mweb side, the privacy side. At that point, it's going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be made so easy that security is just it's just an easy thing. And you'll be able to have money that nobody can intrude on and mess with. And they're going to keep making improvements to Mweb. That's what they said last night. So pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to use it. I've been looking forward to this. So put it in perspective. $40 billion to Ukraine could have bought, 7 times the Litecoin that will ever exist. Scarce asset. Very scarce asset. All right, check out Happy Hour. Got to get these dogs in before I'm a little late now. It's raining harder. But whatever. It is what it is. Happy Hour, 4 p.m. Central Time. On this channel, on Litecoin Lisa's channel. Come check us out. If you got any questions or comments about Mweb, Mimblewimble, drop a comment. I'm just curious to see what y'all think. I think it's a big deal. I think it's a huge deal. And it works. And it's implemented. It's on the blockchain now. We just need the tools to be able to use it more easily. And then it's going to be a universal thing. It'll be a big deal. It really will. All right. I love you all. There's more lightning. Trust yourselves. I should have trusted myself and got out of the car 5 minutes ago. But you know what? It is what it is. Deal with your decisions and the consequences of those. All right. Have a wonderful Friday. Stay safe. I'll try to. And hit that thumbs up if you got anything out of this, or at least you're entertained somewhat. All right. Hope to see you on Happy Hour. If I don't see you then, talk to you then, I will definitely be back Monday, maybe over the weekend. We'll see. All right. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Love you all.